Hello, everybody. All right. In this video, this is in a sense going to be a part two to the new moon in Taurus video that I already made earlier this week. But in this video is going to be almost entirely channeled. There's a lot wanting to come through regarding the energies of now, and in particular with regard to our relationship as a being of Earth. Yeah, I just met with the Divine Blueprint group that I hold, and I was channeling at the end, and it was like, don't stop, there's so much more. You all are going to be the recipients of the overflow. like the river got going, and there's more that needs to come through. So you're welcome. And yeah, no, but it's actually so relevant to the video I put out on the new moon earlier this week. And I also wanted to, before I channel, I just want to follow up on a couple brief astrological things going on right now that I didn't cover. That was a very long video. And there were things I didn't cover that I realize are really important. So I just want to say really, really briefly one thing in particular, which is, so today I'm recording this on Friday, April 26th, 2024. And yesterday, the 25th, April 25th, Mercury went direct, as maybe you know, or maybe people are talking about. But as I said in the video I did on this Mercury retrograde whole journey, typically people talk about the Mercury retrograde only in terms of the 3-ish weeks when Mercury is actually retrograde. But the retrograde journey of any planet is not only the time it's going retrograde, it's also the time when there, typically a total of 3 phases of retrograde. So in the case of Mercury, there's 3 phases. One is the time when Mercury is first, it's going direct, but it's going along the path where it's eventually going to go retrograde. That's phase 1. Then phase 2 is the actual retrograde time. And then phase 3 is what just started yesterday. And that's when Mercury turns direct, and now for the 3rd time is passing over the same degrees that it passed over the first 2 times. So in this case, Mercury has gone direct on the north node of the moon yesterday at 15 degrees of Aries, and now is making its way back through the whole rest of Aries, and it's going to pass the degree that it went retrograde at, which is 27 of Aries. It's going to pass that in, I think it's May 13th, if I have that right. But you can go back and listen to that Mercury retrograde video that I put out a few weeks ago when we were in phase 1. And I have all the dates and everything in there. And so if you've been tracking this, or even if you haven't, you can go back and watch that video and then look at the dates and just notice we were in phase 1 originally, which is where typically often in a this is not necessarily a given, but often what happens is that certain issues will arise during that phase 1 that we kind of notice, oh, okay, this is a thing for me, and maybe I want to think about it or do something differently in the future, but I don't really know what. And then in phase 2, when the planet is going retrograde, that's when often, again, not always, but often, we'll have a sense of, okay, yeah, so here's the issue again, and here are some ideas I have maybe of how maybe this is arising and I maybe could do this differently. And then now we have phase 3, which is what started yesterday. And as Mercury is coming along for the 3rd pass through these degrees, including on the north node of the moon yesterday, then in the 3rd pass, often what happens is then we get a sense of, aha, I've seen this issue, I've kind of reflected on it. Now here's when I'm ready to do something or move on or let go, or there's some resolution of some kind. again, it's not a hard and fast rule, it's not black and white, but you could just notice, I'm just inviting you, if you feel called, to just notice that now we are in phase 3. So yeah, so you could go back and see, what was arising for you in that first phase 1 and then the phase 2, and see what maybe is shifting for you in phase 3. And what has gone on during that phase 1 and that phase 2 is really, really significant, as I talk about also in that Mercury retrograde video, is that during this whole retrograde time of the phases, all 3 phases, is that this is the time we've been going through the eclipses and the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So for a lot of us, really pretty significant things have moved in us. And now the phase 3 is actually going to take us all the way through and past the new moon in Taurus, which is so beautiful, because as I talked about in the new moon video that I put out earlier this week, which also you can go back and listen to if you want, I really feel that new moon in Taurus as a time where we have had these big shifts, this really big support energetically to radically shift things and come into our soul song and all of that. And then we just had a full moon in Scorpio, where we're then maybe letting go of, okay, we felt our soul song. Now we can let go of any and all attachments that don't serve us in being our soul song. And then at the new moon in Taurus, with Mercury in doing that phase 3 at the same time of its retrograde time, then at the new moon in Taurus, I really feel that as a time when we can come into deep reverence and awe even of that soul being as earth that is us, and come into deep ceremony and really honor that being that is us. So yeah, so actually along those lines, so I just to invite you, if you want, 2 things. So as I mentioned recently, I held a free gathering on April 19th, which is still available. It was for the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. It was unbelievably beautiful, and I highly recommend, it's still available. You can still sign up for it. If you haven't heard it and you feel called, please do. I'm going to be holding another free gathering on May 15th, which is going to be very different. I'm going to say more about that in another video, but that's also going to be really wonderful, and I would love for you to be there, and I'm putting the link in with this video. But then if you feel called, I have a monthly membership, and we meet, and for this monthly membership, we meet once a month in the first Friday of every month. And what we do in that time is we gather together, and we have a brief little check-in, and then we talk about the astrology of the upcoming month, and I give you a PDF of all the main transits of the month, and then I channel whatever's wanting to come through for us for the month, like a monthly message, basically a monthly guided experience and message. And what I'm feeling called to do for the gathering, the member gathering in May, it will be just a few days before the new moon in Taurus. And so I'm going to be holding space basically in that gathering for us to be together as we're moving into the energetics of the new moon. So if you feel called to be there, the membership is $22 a month, and you can join and leave anytime you want. There's no obligation for any amount of time. Because I just want to mention that is going to be the focus of this coming month's gathering. So if you feel called to be a part of it, you're very welcome. And yeah, but today, but regardless of that, what I really would encourage us all to do, if it feels right for you, is near or at the time of the new moon, I really do feel like it's a time that is so supported for us to come into deep reverence and ceremony in our own ways, to truly honor the reality that we are beings of earth, literally. We're not on the earth, we are the earth. We're just as much the earth as the earth is. This my arm is made out of what? If it's not made out of earth, I don't know what it's made out of. So, same for all of our bodies, right? Our bodies are earth. We are earth. And I've been listening to Jude Caravan a lot lately, and I resonate with her work so much. But one thing she talks about is really similar to things that come through me. That what I feel is, she says she likes to describe us as Gaians. So we're not only just human beings, we are Gaians. We are beings of the earth. And as I've talked about before, my book that I channeled called Gaia Speaks is very much about that also. And yeah, it's just so key that we switch into being that for so many reasons. So anyway, so I feel like this energy that we're in right now, we're in the season of Taurus now. The sun has moved into the seasonal sign of Taurus, and we're coming into that new moon in Taurus on May 7th. And there's just a lot of Taurian energy right now. And the Taurus energy, among other things, is very much about ourselves as Earth. Actually, this painting above me, it's a very Taurus energy, very Taurus image. Yeah. And I have my own Jupiter in Taurus, and I love Taurus energy. So yeah, it's really, I just love it. Okay. So with all of that being said, I will channel now. And I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Okay. Yeah, so I would say this channeling is meant for us to, it's really guidance for this whole time that we're in the Taurus energetic. It's medicine for any time you happen to be needing sort of this whatever this message is that's about to come through. It's timeless, really. But it's especially for this Taurian season, and any Taurian season, and it's very specifically also for the Taurus new moon. So use it, listen to it now, whenever you feel called, anytime in the future. It's here, and here we go. Sorry, before I do that, I'm getting told just to say this. So as Mercury has gone direct on the North Node, Hygeia is getting very close to the North Node, and Mercury is gonna conjunct Chiron for the third time. So Chiron has been on the North Node and is starting to move a little away from the North Node now, but the Hygeia energy and the Chiron energy are around the North Node in Aries, and are going to be for a while, because Hygeia is going to go retrograde and go back into Aries later on in a few weeks. And so Hygeia and Chiron are going to be doing a dance together in Aries near the North Node for a bunch of months, actually. So, and I talked about in my last video on the new moon, Hygeia is so much about our earth body and our earth, the wisdom of our bodies, that the reality that actually our bodies often know things before our brain does. That's a physiological truth. That's not a woo-woo thing. That is, I mean, it is a woo-woo thing, and it's also known by science, right? It's both and. So Hygeia is partly a reminder of that, and she's also the goddess of healing. And then Chiron is also a healer energy. So, and brings us to our body and the wisdom of our bodies in another way. So it just that felt really important to name, that we have that energetic going on at the same time. We have this very strong Taurus energy going on because we're in the season of Taurus. But there's this really strong emphasis of the wisdom of our bodies and the reality that we are Earth. Okay, now I'm going to channel. Okay, hello, being who is Earth, who is cosmos, who is the divine, who is source itself, and who is you. We are a set of beings who are here as messengers and to bring emphasis and guidance on another layer, another, we call it lesson of what it is to be remembering, to be in the time of remembering, in the time of remembrance, as opposed to the time of forgetting, which is now over for you. So these lessons are coming one at a time, slowly, in whatever way is just right for you. And just as you are able to metabolize it and come alive into it, there's no rush, absolutely no rushing. There's no time and no space. So you are the remembering. And part of the remembering that we really want to bring attention to today, and in this time when you are in the energetic of the season of Taurus, and you are in this powerful remembering time with Jupiter and Uranus meeting in Taurus just in the last few days, and still very close to each other in that sign of Taurus. And much more beyond that, of course. We want to bring in this energetic, this knowing of the reality of yourself as wholeness, just pure, absolute, complete, total wholeness. So many of you, those of you who attended the free gathering that we held with Martha last Friday, and if you haven't, we invite you to listen to that. You came into your own soul song, and even more than that, you came into the remembering the reality of the oneness of the song of existence itself, all as the one. So we asked Martha to play the We Are the One song. We Are the World song. And in concert with the beings of that song, the spirits of the beings who created the actual physical song, and with our beings and all of existence, we came into the beauty, the perfection, the reality of the soul song of source itself, that is wholeness, that is the dance of diversity and the perfection of the uniqueness of each and every single being of life throughout all of time and all of space. And that includes the exact unique perfection of you. So in this time now, as we're moving away from the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, there's an energetic that we would love to offer to you to help in this remembering, this time of remembering. So in the channeling for that free gathering on April 19th, again, go back and listen to that if you like. We described ourselves, you, each of us, all of us, as a drop, a golden drop, our soul, your soul song, as a golden drop of source light itself, like a teardrop. And so we would love to invite you to come back into that reality of yourself as this drop of the golden light of source. Or if you haven't heard that channeling yet, just imagine yourself and you're inside your being as this golden drop of light coming straight from source. And you can feel in your being, in your body, that you literally are the resonance, the beautiful harmonious, harmonic, the vibration that is medicine, that is you as a being of source. And something that is perhaps a new step in this is that we would love to offer you to feel what it is to be that drop of source, that teardrop of pure golden light in and of itself. In a sense, unattached energetically to anything in reality other than the truth of you as source itself. So something that we talk about in Gaia Speaks, Gaia channeled in Gaia Speaks, the book that Martha showed you, and we've talked about many other times as well, is that, as you know, you are literally this, you're the divine song, and you're also a divine tuning fork. So in Gaia Speaks, we talk about practical ways in which we can each let go of anything that has been attached to the pure divine tuning fork that is you, so that soul song can sing. And there are many, many, many ways that you can clear that divine tuning fork that is you, so that you can ring and be the soul song that is you in whatever way is just right for you. So that's all true. And one other component, though, that is very alive right now and we would like to offer for you is that in the time of forgetting, in the eons of existences and lifetimes that many of us have had, especially incarnated as Earth or just in various dimensions and parts of time and space, we've had infinite storylines that have been experienced as though they're part of the reality of the identity of who we are. And the ultimate reality is none of it is actually who we are. None of it actually is typically that pure soul song, that drop of golden light that is you as that resonant beauty and reality of the song of the divine singing as purely as you. So your soul song certainly has sung through all of time and all of space, through all of those existences. That is absolutely the case. Sometimes maybe your soul song was more hidden than other times, or it sang in various ways. And yet at the same time, even though your soul song was always present, the experiences and the storylines that you may have experienced in all those lifetimes and all those times and places, the storylines themselves are not that drop of pure golden light that is the soul song that is you. Some of those experiences you may have enjoyed or not enjoyed. Some of them may have been very traumatic or difficult. All of the above is true. And on the ultimate level, you are simply the light of source itself. And you are that light of source itself that embodies as earth and has embodied as various other infinite beings and shapes and sizes and forms. But on the ultimate level, you just simply are source. So as you're coming into this energetic of yourself as the soul song, one of the components that's really key often is yet again, and you probably may have done this many times in various ways, but yet again is to be releasing, letting go of the stories, letting go of the storylines, letting go of the energetic of yourself as identified as any particular anything other than the pure, in a sense, freedom of the reality of yourself as light, as source. So we would invite you to take a deep breath if that feels right for you, and to come fully into the ultimate soul song of source itself. So you can experience the soul song of source itself in any way that arises for you. It might be, you might experience it like a sort of ultimate sun or star. You might feel it like the center of a sunflower. Or any other infinite ways that feel just right for you. We invite you to come all the way, to let go of anything and everything of your life, of your day, even just for a moment, and come right into the center of source itself, the soul song. Let yourself be, just take a deep breath and release into that light. It is the frequency of the divine. And you can let yourself just dissolve into this reality of yourself as the light of the divine, the song of the divine. That's that's how you are, that's how you originated, that's what you come from, that's what you come back to. It's the beginning and it's the ending, it's the always. There's never a truth that's not this reality. And this is the ultimate drop of the golden light that is you, because it's the every drop of light that's you as everything. We invite you to just feel that song that is the you of everything, all at the same time. And to let every single story of every single incarnation just go. Just let it go. So that your pure resonance, your pure divine light, your pure source song, you're that original Om of existence. We invite you to be in the simplicity and the freedom of what this feels like, to just simply be. There's nothing you need to do. Just this way of being gives you, in a sense, a break from all the storylines. When you come into this reality, this truth of yourself simply as the light, and that point of light that is everything, that is the divine itself, it's like the ultimate still point. So Taurus energy is absolutely about earth. It absolutely is about embodiment in the body. It absolutely is about the wisdom of the body, the wisdom of ourselves as earth. And another element of Taurus that is crucial, that is key, is that Taurus is also an energetic of the ultimate still point of existence itself. This original, eternal, simple point of quiet. The ultimate truth of ourselves as that original Om of existence itself. So today we actually just invite you to be, if and however it calls to you, just be with the reality that you are the original Om of existence, to be with the simplicity of that. And perhaps for just a little time, just to let go of any other reality, anything even slightly more complicated than the reality that you are that original Om of existence. And as we move closer to the new moon in Taurus, or as you move along, then maybe we can bring in a bit more complexity. But it's absolutely crucial to come back to this reality of ourselves, of yourself, again, in whatever way is just right for you, and only if it's right for you. Everyone is different. To come back to this reality of yourself simply as the Om, the original soul song of everything. We invite you just to be that. And your being knows exactly what you need. Just like in craniosacral therapy, the craniosacral therapist often will just hold space for the being, for the body to come into that still point, because it's in the still point when the body clicks into its own innate knowing of exactly what it needs. And it's in that still point when the body can reconfigure, and in that still point, often even the breathing will slow down or stop for a few seconds. And then after the body reconfigures, then the being will often take a big, new, deep breath. But it's the still point first that's so crucial. So the body can click into its wisdom and its knowing. And then it's the body that leads the way. So again, if and however it feels right for you, simply maybe enjoy the still point of you as the original Om. And so it is. Amen. All right. Totally not what I was expecting, but really beautiful. Fascinating. I thought it was going to go in a completely different direction, and then it took us right there. Beautiful. Well, would love to hear what is alive for you in that. And yeah, that's just so exquisite, actually. So, mm, so true. That's the kind of the ultimate point of Taurus, is the still point, simplicity of the Om. All right. And then all the other things I was saying, maybe to be continued, and I don't know what will come next after we're in this reality of ourselves as the Om. let me know how it feels. All right. Thank you all so much. I'll see you soon.